Salmonella outbreak.
Hospitalized.
People sick.
Food microbiology is the study of microorganisms that affect food, including bacteria, viruses, and fungi. It covers topics such as microbial ecology, interactions of microbes, the use of microbes in food production, and the positive and negative effects of microorganisms on food quality and safety. Food microbiology is also crucial in many aspects of human health, including the prevention of foodborne illnesses caused by pathogenic microbes, the development of probiotics and prebiotics that helps to promote gut health and preventing disease, as well as the prevention of food fraud that ensure food supply chain integrity. In addition, food preservation is concerned with inactivating and regulating the growth of spoilage and pathogenic microorganisms to ensure shelf-stable and wholesome foods. Microbes such as bacteria, molds, and yeast are used in the creation of food and food ingredients such as wine, beer, bakery, and dairy products, as well as fermented fish, meat, and vegetables. On the other hand, the growth and contamination of spoilage and pathogenic microbes are currently regarded as one of the leading causes of food waste. Lastly, understanding food microbiology is essential for public health by identifying and controlling harmful microorganisms that might cause illness when consumed, ensuring food quality, and developing appropriate food safety measures. Continuous research and efforts are essential to ensure the sustained safety of the global food supply in the face of emerging the current issues related to food microbiology and ways to overcome it.
Today, we are diving into two critical aspects of food microbiology that impact public health: Clostridium botulinum and salmonellosis. Our focus will be on their characteristic, risk, and real-world outbreak. Firstly, let's discuss on Clostridium botulinum. This pathogen is a major cause of concern in food safety due to its ability to produce toxins. Their toxins can be induced. Botulism is a serious illness leading to paralysis. Clostridium botulinum is found in diverse environments like soils and animal gastrointestinal tracts. There are 7 types of botulinum neurotoxins, but only type A, B, E, and F affect humans. This bacterium thrives in low oxygen conditions, often found in improperly canned food. The injections of these toxins lead to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and severe cases like paralysis. In 2023, the World Health Organization reported that a recent outbreak of botulism in France, which affected 10 individuals and resulted in 1 fatality. This outbreak was induced by the injections of homemade sardines that were sold on the premise. Preventing botulism involves proper food handling and processing techniques like botulism cooking in 120 degrees Celsius for 3 minutes, especially for canned or bottled foods. Now, let's shift our focus to another significant foodborne pathogen, which is salmonellosis. Salmonellosis is a bacterial infection primarily caused by Salmonella bacteria, which is S. enterica and S. bulgari. It's commonly spread through contaminated food and water. Infection pathways include inadequate hand hygiene and contact with the infected animals. The bacteria cause symptoms like stomach pain and severe diarrhea by triggering an inflammatory response in the intestinal tract. More recently, in March 2020, an outbreak linked to fish-based products from Marisco Bahia highlighted the ongoing trace salmonellosis. Preventing such outbreaks involves stricter hygiene practices and proper food handling. In conclusion, both Clostridium botulinum and salmonellosis present a significant challenge in food safety and public health. Understanding these pathogens and implementing rigorous food safety protocols are crucial for preventing outbreaks.
Now, let's talk about how microorganisms can lead to food spoilage. Food spoilage is any change that renders food unfit for human consumption and mainly caused by microorganisms. In our lives, we might have seen the scenarios of common spoilage that happen to our food, like bread that turns moldy after its expiration date or vegetables that turn squishy even when refrigerated, and many more scenarios that we might encounter. But let's focus on the examples that I have mentioned just now. There are many cultural characteristics that shows that the bread has already been spoiled or contaminated, like green-colored dots or white and black spots. Most genera that cause spoilage in bakery products like bread are Aspergillus and Penicillium and other common molds like Rhizophus and Mucor. The development of these microbes follows a 3-stage process. spore germination, mycelium growth, and spore production. These fungi and molds prefer moist environments, so in humid conditions, bread will mold faster. Consuming moldy bread might not cause any serious infections to the consumer, but to some extent, food poisoning caused by fungi and their toxin can cause severe symptoms of diarrhea and vomiting. Next, when the vegetables that we kept in the fridge turn slimy and release a foul odor, Pseudomonas aeruginosa can be found in brinjal, carrots, and potatoes, and tomatoes, onions, and radish contain Aspergillus niger. Both Pseudomonas aeruginosa and Aspergillus niger may contribute to spoilage directly through the enzymatic breakdown and indirectly through the formation of biofilm like slimy biofilm or act as a catalyst. Insufficient temperature over humidity and improper storage can encourage their growth since they will create a nice damp conditions favoring those microbes. The biofilms formation by some Aspergillus niger strains produces mycotoxin that can cause illness. Therefore, it is important to discard the slimy or deteriorated parts of the vegetables. Even though some of those microbes are less significant to foodborne illness, but it is better to prevent it in the worst case scenario.
Next is the concern of antibiotic-resistant bacteria in food supply. The first issue is MRSA in pork. In 2013, Denmark reported an outbreak of medicinal-resistant Staphylococcus aureus (MRSA) in pork, linked to the use of growth promotion antibiotic in pigs. This strain of MRSA was resistant to multiple antibiotics, making it difficult to treat infection in humans who consume contaminated meat. The second issue is Salmonella in poultry. In the US 2017, fluoroquinolone-resistant Salmonella typhimurium is a significant concern in the poultry industry. The overuse of the fluoroquinolones in chicken has led to the development of resistant strain which can cause the severe foodborne illness in humans. The third issue is Campylobacter in cattle. A study in the Netherlands found 62% of meat contaminated with Campylobacter, with 65% showing resistant to it at least one antibiotics. This contributes to an estimated 500,000 foodborne illness annually in Europe. Campylobacter jejuni is a common cause of the foodborne illness worldwide. Microbe resistance to Campylobacter strain has been isolated from cattle raised on farms that routinely use these antibiotics. Next is mis-use of antibiotics in food production. And the first one is growth promotion. Antibiotics are often used in a low dose in animal feed to promote growth and prevent disease. This continuous exposure allows resistant bacteria to thrive and outcompete their non-resistant counterpart. The second is prophylactic use. Antibiotics are sometimes used preventively in healthy animals to avoid potential outbreak of disease. This practice contributes to the unnecessary use of antibiotics and puts selective pressure on bacteria to develop resistance. The last one is lack of alternative. The lack of effective alternative to antibiotics for disease prevention and treatment in livestock create a reliance on this drug, further driving the issue of resistance. In conclusion, by collectively adopting this measure, we can safeguard animal and human health, preserving the effectiveness of antibiotics.
Food fraud. It seems like an issue that always happens in each country, either in big scale or small scale. We might hear about adulteration. Yes, it is similar to food fraud. Mostly, this happens because they want to reduce the budget by substitute the ingredient in food, which is probably harmful to consumer. In their mind, profit is important than anything. So what the issue is? First, at 2018, it has been shown with news that around 50,000 of infants were hospitalized and around 6 died after consuming infant formula which intentionally added with melamine. It sounds cruel, right? Yes, they added melamine to claim that their milk is high in protein, while melamine is a nitrogen-rich compound which normally used to produce plastic, laminates, and paints. It causes kidney stone when it reacts with cyanuric acid. Second, during New Year or any festival, India will serve their food with chandi kawa or silver leaf. So fewer irresponsible person will use this opportunity to change the silver leaf with aluminium which they claim it can reduce their budget. This aluminium is harmful as it causes hyperplasia of cardiac tissue in fiber in liver and kidney. So food safety is threatened by lack of resources, resource limitation, and economic pressure. Companies that involved in this issue is putting profit ahead despite of health of consumers.
Food handlers and individual customers both have important roles to play in preventing foodborne illnesses. Firstly, awareness and education are key. Unfortunately, limited access to reliable information hinders our ability to make informed choices. We need strategic initiatives for public awareness campaigns, starting with early integration into the national curriculum and reinforced through community-wide campaigns. Secondly, targeted education programs, training sessions, and workshops are crucial for citizens, food handlers, and stakeholders as it provides thorough understanding of safe food practices. Moreover, cooperation between public health organizations, government agencies, and consumer groups is essential. Utilizing various media platforms can spread the message, creating a safer food supply for everyone. Moving on to individual actions, humans are often the main cause of food contamination. Food handlers, whether at home or in restaurants, must follow hygienic practices, clean hands, separate appliances for cooked and raw dishes, thorough cooking, and proper storage ensure safe food preparation. Even in our homes, citizens can make a difference. Use separate kitchen equipment for raw and cooked dishes, wash hands thoroughly after handling raw foods, and follow proper cooking techniques to reduce the risk of foodborne illnesses.
Food safety issues that arise at the global level cause the government's role in regulating food safety to become more significant. The Malaysian government has taken action on issues related to food safety and established two main legislations, which are Food Act 1983 and Food Regulations 1985. The Food Act 1983 was first published on 10 March 1983. This law aims to protect consumers from the health hazards associated with consuming contaminated food and empowers the Ministry of Health, the authority to regulate the safety and quality of food in Malaysia. The Food Regulations 1985 that have been established contain standards that include food safety and quality, food additives, and food grades. Every food that is sold in Malaysia must meet the requirement established by this regulation. Furthermore, the government also has implemented a requirement for businesses to adhere to rigorous standards. Every food manufacturer needs to obtain a food safety certification in order to ensure the security of the food supply chain. The Malaysian Ministry of Health (KKM) has introduced a scheme that is easy to obtain and meets the minimum requirements allocated in the Food Hygiene Regulation 2009, which is mostly certification. Last but not least, one of the efforts made by the government is to raise awareness about the importance of food safety in order to protect consumer health on the global scale. The World Health Organization (WHO) has declared that 7th June every year as World Food Safety Day. The theme of this day in 2020 was Food Standards Save Life. From the farm to the fork, it needs coordinated action to guarantee that everyone has access to wholesome food.
Food safety is a crucial issue that needs to be emphasized due to its possibility that may lead to morbidity and mortality. Food safety refers to the measure and practice implemented to ensure that food is free from contamination, hazard, and conditions that could harm consumers. It involves the handling, preparation, and storage of food in a way that prevents the growth of harmful microorganisms, minimize the risk of chemical contamination, and avoid physical hazards. Foodborne bacteria can be transmitted at various stages of food preparation. Hence, it is important to practice food safety at home or in manufacturing facilities for factory workers. The bacteria that are typically involved in foodborne disease, such as Salmonella, Campylobacter, and Staphylococcus aureus. Here are some food safety practices that you could follow to avoid foodborne illness. First, thoroughly wash your hands. Second, it is important to use separate chopping board for poultry and vegetable to avoid cross-contamination. Although both techniques appear basic, They are the first step that we must take before handling food, whether in our own kitchen or elsewhere. Following that, it is critical to be aware and properly monitor the temperature danger zone. Temperature in the danger zone range from 4 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius, where bacteria can multiply rapidly, posing a significant risk of foodborne illness. This zone provides an optimal environment for bacterial growth, increase the risk of contamination. Hence, it is important to be aware of the temperature danger zone. The proper cooking technique may also help to eliminate the growth of bacteria in food. Staff training is vital to ensure the food safety and avoid floor-level storage is also important to avoid pests like rodents and insects. All of these practices are important aspects of food safety standards. Hence, emphasizing food safety procedure is essential to protect consumer health and well-being.
Conclusion. Our plate may bring delicious possibilities, but hidden beneath their surface lies a silent war. A world of microscopic warriors and insidious threat. This is the world of food microbiology, where the safety of our every bite hangs in the balance. Here, malicious foodborne pathogens like Salmonella, ready to hitchhike on our meals and wreak havoc on our health. Spoilage artists, though harmless, play the mysterious tune, transforming vibrant freshness into an appetizing decay. But the gravest threat looms in the shadow: antibiotic resistance, overuse in agriculture. These once potent allies are losing their power, leaving us vulnerable to infection we used to conquer with ease. In the murky depth of this battle, food fraud takes its toll, driven by greed and fueled by deception, jeopardizing our trust in the very sustenance that nourishes us. Facing these interconnected threats demand a united front. We need unwavering research to uncover new solutions, stricter regulation to safeguard our food system, and unwavering consumer awareness to empower every choice. Transparency must illuminate the path from farm to table, while sustainable practice restore balance to our food production. Each of us in our own kitchen can become champion of food safety, wielding the weapons of proper handling and vigilant temperature control against the danger lurking in the danger zone. Food safety is more than just an individual concern, it's a public health imperative, a web that binds individual communities and the environment in a shared faith. Only through collaboration across sector and discipline can we ensure that the food we eat is not just delicious, but also safe, nutritious and sustainable for generations to come. Let us rise to this challenge together and create a world where every bite is a victory in the relentless pursuit of healthy future.